Hello everyone, thanks for dropping by. As you know, marriages have been in decline in the Western world for several years now, and especially in America, where the marriage rate has taken a dramatic drop and is now at the lowest rate as it's been in over 100 years. Whenever the mainstream media do report it, both in the press and on TV, they generally take the woman's side of view and very, very rarely the man's point of view, and they don't really address the real issue why marriage has been in decline. But there might be just a little bit of a silver lining in this whole situation, as looking around yesterday, I found this article. The magazine is called EV. It's in an electronic form and most could be in a printed form as well. Now, EV is based in Los Angeles, which, as you know, is the ground zero of one of the hotspots of feminism in America, and EV, as you can see and guess, is specifically aimed at women, as it's a totally woman's magazine. As you can see, the article says millions of men no longer want to get married, and you can thank the government for that. Well, that is one of the first mistakes, and it's a misdemeanor, as in you can thank toxic feminism for that, and the idea that toxic feminism has put in women's heads that all men are bastards, are only after one thing, marriage is slavery, and they don't need no men, because they're all strong, independent women. Anyway, this was written by a lady called Julia Stewart on the 2nd November 2020. And if you scroll down, you'll see, and get rid of that bloody thing. Who the hell's Barbara Coronian? Never heard of her. Lost my thought then. Anyway, as you can see, it was article updated January 5th, 2021, or about 12-14 weeks ago. And it says, marriage is in decline, and it's a scary thought. Scary thought for whom? Women? I imagine that's what they mean. Imagine dating a man for years and not giving a relationship your all without him ever having to put a ring on it. No matrimony, no wedding dress, no big celebration with family and friends. As the Sandman have said, women want the wedding and not the marriage. No, that's wrong. Women want the marriage ceremony, the wedding ceremony, and not the marriage. What about the thought of having children out without marriage? Well, considering all the numbers of fatherless children in America, especially in the blue-collar black African-American parts of the American society, that's a bit of a moot point. And then it goes down. It's fine if you don't believe in marriage, but the rest of us do. What about the guys who believe in marriage but are too worried about the consequences of a divorce and losing everything? Most women look forward to tying the knot with the man of their dreams, but in some cases the women, the ATM of their dreams. And then it says, but what will happen if millions of men refuse to get married? This is where the article really starts. This is what's currently happening in America and many other parts of the world. And then it reports the low rate, and it says there has also been a rise in men's groups such as Men Going Their Own Way, MGTOW, and the Manosphere. Well, that's another mistake. MGTOW is not a group. MGTOW is a philosophy, an idea. These women can't get it through their heads that it's an idea each individual man on his own decides whether to go his own way and look after himself with his income and his resources, or he can also decide to not become a MGTOW and get married. But either way, it's an individual decision taken by each individual man what he wants to do with his own life. That's what they don't understand. They think we're a group. We might have spokespeople to a degree, Sandman being the most prominent one, and me being one myself, but on my level, a tiny, tiny bit. But anyway, it says, where men in droves complain about men's unfair treatment in relationships and family courts. Well, that's a truth bomb for a start. Exactly. Remember, this is a woman's magazine, specifically aimed on women's point of view, and they're dropping a truth from a man's point of view. They're tired of being browbeaten by women and the gender bias against men. True. For this reason, millions of men don't want to get married and are opting out of marriage altogether. Now that's the most important sentence of the whole article. And then it goes, men are not marrying because for many men the rewards are getting far less than they used to be. In other words, the juice isn't worth the squeeze. Men know they will lose a lot from losing their freedom to being financially exploited and losing custody of their children. It's common knowledge that the courts favour women over men, female-friendly family courts. And then it goes in a bit of a history. An Ontario businessman was ordered to pay $50,000 a month to his ex-girlfriend despite neither owning a house nor having children together. And in Ontario, they lived together for 3 years. I suspect what happened is she waited 3 years for him to put a ring on her finger, and if he's hesitated, she thought, right, I'll get him in the family courts, and she did, took him to the cleaner to the tune of $50,000 a month, which works out about £12,000 a week, which is about a year's salary/wages for me, my job. And then it goes, another example about UK. Liz Jones, I should say, if you don't know, she's a miserable sow, Liz Jones is. If you ever read her column, you see it's always self-centered, self-pitying drivel of her relationship problems. But it doesn't say and reported that she stole her ex-boyfriend's sperm to try and get pregnant but failed. And one of her friends lied to her boyfriend she's on the pill, which apparently in America is called entrapment pregnancy, and it's one of the landmines that American guys have to watch out for. And then just about this guy, Hebe Akandi, his white girlfriend, wife, wherever, she couldn't find a suitable wealthy white man to go for, so she went with a wealthy black man. Anyway, she took him to the cleaners and he lost a lot. Most likely because he was thinking with his little head and not his big head. In the event of a married couple divorcing, men only get custody of their children for 10% of the time. Another reason why men don't want to get married. And then if they're divorced, they'll never see their children. And the closing thoughts, in a society that strives for equality, maybe these gender laws are outdated. Yeah, but remember, gender laws are designed these days to suit the women, and the people who created the laws are not going to let them go without a fight. It's such a minefield that change might not happen fast. Yes, it won't happen fast. Still, if you want to see men viewing marriage in a positive light so we can continue to have strong family units, the article forgets the purpose of feminism, and especially toxic feminism, is to destroy the family unit. That's the whole reason behind it. And we all know who controls the USA, don't we, people? I.e., members of a minor religious sect and an offshoot of a minor religious sect. It will take a long-term focus effort from women, men and the government. The government's got no say in it, being aware of the issues. In general, this is quite a good article, and if you go down to the comments, I'm not going about that big one, but the first one a day ago, excellent article with the real facts. Yes, men will no longer be in a system that treats them unfairly. But as I said, quite a good effort. This gave balance, a few little slip-ups, but in general, it does give women the viewpoint from a man's side of a view, and if women are not careful, men are going to wipe their hands completely from marriage altogether, look after themselves, and then the population will go off a cliff like it's starting to go in Japan, and all these feminists that don't need no men will be miserable on their own and have a house full of cats. I might do another one of these articles if I find anything on this level, on this type, next week, but if not, I'll go back to Star Wars as things are heating up in the drama that's happening behind the scenes. But until then, I think this video's gone on long enough. You know the routine, people. It's completely up to you. So until next Monday, that's it. Bye-bye.